He said he didn't do it very often, but he said a prayer for me to be able to somehow overcome what I just did. Before we dive in, just a quick favor. If you're enjoying what we're doing at Angels Among Us, please take a second to rate and review the show. And if something in today's episode touches your heart, please share it with a friend. Welcome to Angels Among Us, the podcast where we share real stories of angelic encounters. Each episode, you'll hear firsthand accounts of divine protection, guidance, and miraculous interventions that remind us we're never truly alone. Whether through a whisper of comfort, an unseen hand of protection, or an unmistakable presence, angels are closer than we think. Join us as we explore these powerful experiences of angels, both seen and unseen. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Angels Among Us. This is a bonus episode. I'm joined here with my dad, Kevin. Hopefully I can get through this one. This might be a little difficult for me. My dad has always been an angel in my life. I'm so blessed and fortunate to have him as my father. But I wanted to sit down with him. For those of you that are caught up, and we just listened to the episode of myself, Kyle, Jesse, and Tyler telling a story of an experience that we had in the White Cloud Mountains. My dad was there, and I wanted to sit down with him and get a little bit of his perspective. This won't be a super long episode, but we're going to just chat a little bit. One of my very favorite things in life is being able to do things with my dad, to experience things in the mountains for years and years. I tried getting him to go up on backpacking trips with me, but he was always super busy working, taking care of and providing for his family. And finally, about 10 years ago, our first trip up in the White Cloud Mountains, I was able to get him to go with, and he's been a mainstay ever since, except for the last couple years.
Yeah, a couple years.
But it's always so much fun having him up there. If you know my dad, he has a great sense of humor, and he just knows how to say the right thing at the right time. And
or the wrong time.
Or the wrong thing at the right time, or wrong thing at the wrong time. But yeah, so I wanted to sit down and kind of get his perspective. As I said before during the episode, our first trip into the White Clouds, or not into the White Clouds, our first trip to Quiet Lake was intense, and the hike in is difficult and extreme. What did you do right when we got to camp that first trip?
The first year, I stayed in the tent for 14 hours straight.
We got there.
We barely made it in. Every step was very tough. We didn't fall on the rocks, and in between the rocks, and I mean there was boulders on the way in. I can talk about that later, but go ahead.
It's some extreme territory, and
absolutely.
Yeah, we get to camp, get stuff set up. He didn't really even say a word as he's setting his tent up. He gets everything set up and he climbs into his tent, doesn't even eat dinner, which wasn't a good thing. You got to refuel yourself, Dad. But climbed to his tent and didn't get out till the next morning. And we still had 6 hours of daylight that day. But, but he's old, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, and you said this last time that I was pushing 50.
No, I said 60.
Did you say 60? See, that's showing my age as well. But yes, absolutely pushing 60. The second time in to Quiet Lake.
Yeah, so after that first trip, it's extreme, but it was awesome, right? I mean, we caught a ton of fish, big fish, and just great memories. Memories I will cherish for my entire life with my dad. But as I said, we get down and get in the car, and we're not even off the dirt road yet. And you said,
I think we could do it again. We need to do it again.
Yeah. And yeah, it didn't take long. And he was the first one to say it. So we went back that next year.
You know, the first time out of Quiet Lake was no easy thing either. You know, we had to traverse across the that snowbank.
Mm-hmm.
We tied off so that we wouldn't slip and go sliding down the mountain. But yeah, it was so good we had to go again.
The good outweighed the bad.
Absolutely. A beautiful area. The first time we went up in the White Clouds, we were supposed to go to Yellowstone, but it was raining quite heavily up there, and so we decided to go somewhere else. And this place is so beautiful that, you know, every turn, once we got up a little ways, every turn was like, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. And we caught, like, I don't know, it was 600, 700, 800 fish that first trip.
That's not an exaggeration.
No, not at all. How many of us were there? Like 7, I believe.
6, I think.
And, you know, there was just almost every cast you would catch one. You know, I had 18 straight casts with fish. So it was a great time, good place to go and to continue going. But this, the second trip into White Clouds was, as you've heard, it was quite a trip. And we did learn a lot. And it was awesome. Since we made it out alive.
In the moment, we weren't saying this is awesome.
No, not. We when we were going out and going up, I mean, it was straight up this very, very steep hill. I come from a place that Cache Valley, Utah, where the mountains were very, very steep up there, and we would climb them all the time as kids, but nothing as difficult as this was. We're going up, and I'm pretty sure I was one of the last ones up that mountain. And I don't know if we're ready to talk about this yet, or
yeah.
Okay. We're getting up there, and Brent comes over the crest of the top of the mountain there, and he had tears in his eyes, and he just said, "I am so sorry. I'm so sorry." So, you know, we could tell he felt the weight of being our guide, our leader. But, you know, once we got up there, once we talked about it, we made a plan. I thought the plan was for us to go 2 by 2. And then before another group starts down, the other ones are basically way off the where rocks would come
out of the path of rocks.
Out of the path of rocks. And I know how treacherous this can be. I don't know if you guys know where Devil's Slide is, but we were going on a trip to Salt Lake, a youth trip, and we stopped at Devil's Slide there on the way, the back way to go into the valley and into Salt Lake. And a bunch of kids started running up Devil's Slide. I mean, it was very steep. And I was in the middle of it, and there was this pretty good sized rock come barreling down the hill. And I thought, well, I got to stop that rock. And so I just put my leg out to stop that rock because there was people below us, and that definitely could have killed somebody. And I just remember stopping that rock, and not a whole lot happened to my leg. Yeah, it scuffed it up a little bit, but that was about it. And so I know what these rocks can do. They hit somebody in the head or whatever, and they're done for. And like the guy said on the previous podcast, we had a prayer, we made a plan, we stuck by that plan, and it was just amazing and wonderful that things came out in our favor. We were blessed. And again, like Brent said, Heavenly Father has a plan, and the plan for us was to make it out of there okay, and to learn some lessons, as everyone attested to. And it was a great time, amazing time to go down there and kneel down in the circle and have that prayer of thanksgiving. We were all just so thankful. Every one of us had tears in our eyes, and was just grateful to our Father in heaven that nobody was injured, and that we made it out. I'm surprised that Josh made it out, though. That guy, he came up with a 70-pound pack, I'm sure. He had chargers and batteries.
Everything.
He had everything in there. Strong guy. He had to be to make it up there and then make it out of there.
But he's never been back with us since. So
he's never been back with us since.
I
don't blame him.
Not after that trip.
Yeah, not after that. That was very intense, and like I say, I was pushing 60 at the time. These guys take good care of me, and Kyle. There's been a couple of times we've been going. He'll run down and he'll grab my pack and take it up for me, and they're just awesome. I'm going to call them kids to be around, and good men. I'm very proud of every one of them, and what we learned. Grateful for tough times. Brent and Michaela asks, I don't know if we're there yet, but I'm going to go ahead and say what I know to be true. And the first great truth is that our Father in heaven loves us with all his might, mind, heart, all of his strength. And there's nothing that is better than that. We know that we're children of our Father in heaven and that He loves us. I've been told that, and I know exactly where it came from, that our Father in heaven doesn't love us, that He's a stranger to us. He doesn't care about us. I know exactly where that came from, and it has just made me know all the much more of our love that our Father in heaven has for us, and that the adversary wants nothing more than to have us not believe that, to have us not believe that we are His children and that we have a divine destiny. And we are here to learn. We are here to go through tough spots. But as we go through those tough spots, I want every one of you to know that no matter the tough spot we're in, our Father loves us. He is with us. He will see us through these tough times. We've just got to do our part and know that He loves us and that He's there with us. I saw a video the other day, and I've been taught lately of how much our Father in heaven loves us, and it just keeps coming and coming. The other night, I saw a video of one of our apostles saying, "Don't you ever think that your Father in heaven does not love you just because you're having to go through trials." Of course, I'm paraphrasing, because if there's Christ went through everything that we could possibly go through, and He loves us. He loved His Son dearly, but He allowed Him to go through what He went through. And Christ had to go through that for us. And I just know it to be true that our Father in heaven loves us. And that's the first great truth. You must know that. And no matter where you find yourself, Heavenly Father can be there. He loves us no matter what. Just keep going. Just know that that is true. I know it's true.
Thank you for that testimony. Thank you for instilling that testimony in me my whole life. And I'd like to share a story really quick of one way you were a big part of this particular story in helping me to see and feel and understand the love that my Father in heaven had for me. I've always known that, of course, but we go through things in life where there's another force that's trying to pull us, that's trying to make us forget that. And as many of you know, I played professional baseball, and
for Lewis Clark State.
He's wearing a national championship shirt. But that was something that ever since I was old enough to know and see that baseball was something that could be done as a job, that's what I wanted forever. And once I got drafted and got to that point, sometimes I felt like I made it, I'm living my dream. But then really quickly I would be humbled and also remember that I'm not exactly playing on TV yet. I'm playing in the minor leagues, and I'm still working to live out a dream. And baseball is very mental. It's very streaky. And there's times where I feel like I'm the worst baseball player in the world. Times where I feel like I can hit off anybody. And that's really how life is. Just roller coaster after roller coaster, ups and downs. But this one particular time, I think it was my third full season. You know what story I'm about to tell?
I may continue.
I had recently just gotten called up to AA, and once you get to AA, that's, you're getting to the tops of the minor league system, and it's obviously the competition is incredible, but psychologically and mentally, myself, I just put added pressure on myself, and I didn't have a great start. I was kind of struggling up there, and we were I don't remember if it was an extra inning game or if we were in the ninth inning, top of the ninth. I was playing second base, and I ended up having an error with 2 outs that led to a run. So they scored the go-ahead run, and I was up second that next inning, and we go in. I'm upset at myself, then just more pressure. And at any moment, you can lose your job, right? You can get released. It's pretty cutthroat. And so that added pressure, it's my job. I have to perform, and we go up, and leadoff guy goes up and hits a home run to tie up the game. Okay. It would have been a walk-off home run. It would have ended the game. So I'm extra upset as I'm going up. I lied. I was up third that inning. So the next guy comes up, and he gets a single. He's on base. So I'm up with nobody out, runner on first, and I get the bunt sign. I got to move him over in a scoring position. And that's something I'm really took a lot of pride in, was being able to do the little things. And I was very good at being able to lay a bunt down when needed, or for a hit. That's something I love doing. So I get the bunt sign, and there's a ball. So it's 2-0. He gives me the go-ahead to swing. There's another ball, 3-0. I get the take sign, goes to a 3-1 count, and the bunt was still off. He went ahead and let me swing, and I remember the guy throws a slider. It's kind of low and in, and I hit it really well. Hit it hard. It was on a line, and it just barely snuck over the fence. It was on a line. So
there was the fence was like this.
Yep, it was like that, and it went right into the corner, snuck over for a walk-off. And it was awesome, an incredible feeling. And I remember just feeling like the highs really quick. I went from a low up to a high, right? And I remember talking to my dad after the game, and tell him what was going on your end.
Well, I was just watching play-by-play.
Right.
And so...
Yeah, that was back in the time where they weren't streaming.
Yeah, it wasn't streaming
really
or
watch
anything.
It live.
I just watched play-by-play. And, it was never good to see that your son just made an error that, cost a couple of runs and
just one.
And it's kind of a low, as a parent with your kid at this level, and anything could, either move you up or down, or is pretty tough. So,
but what happened? What'd you tell me after when we were talking?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay, well, I'll tell you.
Yeah, you can tell me.
So I was talking to him after, we spoke after lots of my games. But I remember my dad would just sit there at the computer night after night after night and just watch the play-by-play. And, I was playing on the other side of the country all the time. So they were able to come out and watch a couple times, but not very often. But he said that after I made the error, he said he didn't do it very often, but he said a prayer for me to be able to somehow overcome what I just did. And he said the reason he didn't pray, he prayed for me all the time, of course, but not for me to have success or to win, or, those are things we don't really, it's just not necessary to pray for all the time. But
yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable with that because I know there's mothers on the other side that want like crazy for their kids to win.
Yeah. But he knew my heart in that moment. He knew, when I was struggling, he was struggling, and he could feel it. And as a father, sometimes you just got to let your kids go through it and figure it out. And he said that he said a prayer for me, and God didn't care in that moment if we won or lost the game, but he cared about me and about my heart. And he cared about my father's heart, pleading for his son. And when my dad told me that, I just broke down. And in that moment, I felt immense amount of love from him and from my Father in heaven, that, just like Kyle said on that episode, that he loves me and he wanted me to succeed. Success to him doesn't mean winning or losing a baseball game, right? But it's about our love and devotion to him first and foremost, and then being able to share that love with my peers, my family, with the people around me who maybe from time to time struggle in feeling his love. And like I have, right? I think like we all have, we all need little pick-me-ups from time to time. And I hope that this podcast has been able to be a pick-me-up from time to time. That's the goal in the whole thing. This whole thing is to help others to realize and to be able to see and recognize the love that their Father in heaven has for them. To be able to see the love that people around you have for you. That just say the right thing at the right time. That are inspired to give you a hug, or for us to recognize when God needs us to be an angel to other people, to stick out our leg and stop a boulder that's barreling down a mountain. And in doing so, I know that we will be protected and we will be guided and directed, and we will be given extra strength when needed. And I'm so grateful for that knowledge. I'm so grateful for loving parents that have helped me come to that realization for myself, to just have the confidence that I do because I have a God who loves me. And I know that I can do anything that he needs me to and that he wants me to. And that's my truth. And I'm so grateful to know that.
And I have one more truth. I really love this guy right here. He's been a great example to me, to my family, and to his siblings. And I love him so much. One of the highlights in my life was watching him play baseball and being able to maybe pick him up here and there. And it was pretty awesome. So I love you, son.
I love you.
And I'm so proud of you and Michaela for doing this. And I hope, and I know for sure this has helped at least me. And there's a whole lot of other people that it's helping. Just take these truths and go with them. Heavenly Father loves us. And appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
You got to give it a big hug.
I couldn't have done it without you. We'll let you get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Angels Among Us. You can find us on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow along for more stories of everyday miracles and reminders that angels are among us. If you have a story to share, please email or DM us with a brief summary. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, when we are waiting, God is working.